this Qigong work is really about feeling energy in the body and working with that energy, directing it, helping it. It classically, it was really for health and longevity in the ancient Chinese traditions. So we're really looking for ways to use to actually activate this qi in our bodies to help it bring more life force energy, more enlivenment. And when I learned it, it was almost 20 years ago now, and there were things I didn't understand because it's so culturally different from anything we do in the West. But we have a lot of yoga now, and yoga and Qigong both work with breath, movement, and intention. So we're working, it's less about building muscle, which is sort of the Western way, and more about this other deeper way of developing our own health and flexibility, and really using in this practice, using the qi, the energy in the body to healthify the organs. Um, and in this practice that I learned and teach also, really to healthify and bring blood flow to the genitals as well as all the rest of the body. So you're just working, there's moving energy. At the beginning, we tend not to feel that energy. We're sort of, it's just, we just have energy and we don't realize it mostly until you begin to work with it. And this is energy that's not just ours, but it's really just energy of the universe, of the stars and the sun and the earth and the magma in the earth, and everything it's almost like the zeros and ones of computers. It's everything. So the energy is what is us. It's what makes us. It's what manifests into anything that's alive. But working with that energy, knowing that we can we can feel it first, and then we can direct it to help enliven us. It's not a fast practice. A lot of what we do in the West is quick and fast, and we feel our energy because we're running or because we're doing something else. And this is not that, but it's a more subtle practice, and it helps you tune in and listen to the body more closely. And I think that's a piece of learning to receive all that's here for us, instead of always putting out and having to make things, doing things and making things happen. We're really learning to receive what's already here and activate it for more health and well-being. So that's a little bit of a umbrella. We're going to be working today with 3 practices that I've found to be pretty foundational to this work. One is called the microcosmic orbit, and it's learning to let energy flow in an orbit in our bodies. So just like everything in the universe is in orbit, things are in orbit, and our body has this orbit. So it's learning. Today we'll just begin just to touch on it, but you'll begin to experience a little bit of what that can be. We'll also work with imagining the qi sitting on the inside of our perineum. The perineum is that muscle around the bottom of the pelvic bowl. So imagining that there's a tiny little ball of qi living there, and we'll work with that energy, work with it to do the microcosmic orbit. We'll work with it to work with feeling energy, bringing energy up from the earth into our bodies, and then releasing it back to the earth. We'll work with it at the end of the practice for bringing that energy up through ourselves, smiling it out to the world. Another one of the practices is this inner smile. So it's realizing that just by lifting the corners of your mouth, we really impact our experience, and we change the hormones in our body and work with the qi. So there's also the inner smile. And then in the end, we're just bringing down that energy through our bodies. So begin to feel it more thoroughly here. The other principle in this work is understanding that by moving qi and energy, we can be healing and rejuvenating our organs. So we don't think of that practice. We don't really think of our organs that much in Western practices, Western exercise, Western spirituality. But in this practice, we're really looking to bring energy to release congested energy in the organs, and to bring in a freedom and a flexibility. We use sound and movement to work with that energy. So that's a little bit of an overview. We're going to start by working with some warm-ups. When I'm introducing this work, I'm always saying, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 different warm-ups. Just as you learn these practice, you might pick one that feels best, and you might just do that when you wake up in the morning. These are practices that I often do first thing.